This is a story from Book 7 of Ovid's Metamorphoses that discusses some of the mythology of the island of Aegina. King Minos of Crete is looking for allies for a war he wishes to wage against Athens. He makes his way to the island of Aegina. But neither Oleuros, Didyma, Taenos, Andros, Gaiaros, or Paparethos, rich in the shining olive, helped the Cretan fleet. Thereupon Minos turned to the island of Oenopeia, lying to the left the realm of Aeacus. Men of old called this land Oenopeia, but King Aeacus called it Aegina, after his mother. A crowd rushed forward to meet a hero of such fame like Minos. Telamon, his younger brother Peleus, and Phocus, third in the line to the throne, met Minos. Even Aeacus himself, slowed with advanced age, comes forth and asks why Minos has come to Aegina. Reminded of his fatherly grief, Minos sighs, and the ruler of 100 cities says, "I beg you to help me with arms on behalf of my son and to be an ally in my pious war. I seek retribution as some solace for my lost boy." Aeacus responds to him, "You seek something that cannot be given by my polis. No land is more allied to the land of Cecrops than Aegina, so strong a treaty binds us." Minos sadly departs and says as he leaves, "That treaty will cost you dearly." But he thinks it is more expedient to threaten war than to pursue it and lose his forces in Aegina. Even as his fleet can be seen departing from the walls of Aegina, an Athenian ship speeds with full sail into the friendly harbor. Cephalus is on board, bringing tidings from his fatherland. Although the young princes had not seen him for a long time, they recognized him, shook hands, and brought him to their father's palace. Cephalus was a sight to be seen. Retaining the traces of old Athenian charm, he strides forward, holding a branch of his country's olive in his hands. He is flanked by 2 of his younger countrymen, Cleitos and Butes, sons of Pallas. After the opening formalities, Cephalus expresses the order of the king of Athens and asks for help, citing the old treaty and laws of their ancestors. He adds that Minos seeks control over all of Greece. His eloquence helps him prove his points. Aeacus, having listened, put his left hand on his bright staff and declared, "You don't have to seek aid, Athens. Take the help you need, and lead away your allies from this island with confidence. Our strength will not be lacking. Oh, if only my power can remain fortunate. I have an abundance of soldiers, thanks to the gods, and this blessed age needs no excuses. We can help in this war." Cephalus responds, "Yes, may your city continue to flourish in such a manner. Truly, just now, as I made my way here, I was overjoyed when I saw so many young and handsome men in your city. Yet I did not see many whom I had met when I visited here years ago." Aeacus groaned, and in a sad voice said the following, "Good luck followed tragedy. If only I could tell of the one without the other. Now I will begin at the beginning, and I will not delay you with a long tale. Those men whom you saw long ago are now dust and bones, and a great part of my kingdom died with them. A lethal plague fell upon Aegina, stoked by Juno's anger at the name of a rival. So long as the plague seemed of human origin, and the cause of such a great evil remained hidden, we fought it with our doctors. But the pestilence overcame them, and they were helpless against it." At this point there follows a long description of the plague. The unusual weather, snakes overwhelming the fields and sullying the rivers with their poisons, animals dying first, then humans start to fall. Bodies pile up everywhere, even in the temples, and funeral customs are abandoned. There is great despair for all, especially Aeacus, who continues his story as follows. "Stricken by such an abundance of misfortune, I cried out, 'O Jupiter, if the stories are true that you did lie in the embrace of Aegina, daughter of Aesopus, aren't you ashamed to be my parent, great father? Return my people to me, or bury me as well in death.' Jupiter gave a sign, a flash of lightning and thunder. I said, 'I accept your sign, and I pray it indicates your will is favorable. The omen which you give I believe to be a pledge.' By chance, there was an oak tree nearby, sacred to Zeus, with broad branches of a seed from Dodona. Here I saw grain-gathering ants making their way on the wrinkled bark in a long line, each carrying a heavy load in its tiny mouth. While I observed their great number, I said, 'O Heavenly Father, grant me as many citizens as these ants, and repopulate my empty city.' The huge oak gave an eerie sound and shook its branches, although no breeze was blowing. My limbs quivered with sudden fear, and my hair stood on end. I kissed the tree, its roots, and the ground, although I wouldn't admit to hoping for something better, yet I did hope in my heart and kept my prayer close to the chest. Night came on, and sleep took my body, worn out with worry. Before my eyes was that same oak tree, and the same branches, and the same ants moving along the bark. Once again it shakes, and the line of ants is scattered to the ground. They suddenly begin to grow larger and larger, and to lift themselves off the ground on 2 feet, casting aside their thin thorax and losing a number of their legs and their dark color. They take on human form with their limbs. The dream flees my eyes. Now awake, I groan about it and complain that the gods do not help my plight. But there was a large uproar in the palace. I thought I heard the voices of men, which was unaccustomed in those days. While I was suspicious this was still part of my dream, Telamon threw open the doors and ran into my room, saying, "Father, you are about to see something you would never believe or hope for. Come with me." I go out, and I seem to see the very men from the dream. I recognized them, and they saluted me as king. I thanked Jupiter, and I distributed the empty city and fallow fields to these recently transformed men, calling them Myrmidons, not to lie about their origins. They have the same character that they did before, a thrifty race, fond of work, keen to earn more, and protective of what they earn. These men will follow you to war, bold in their youth, as soon as there is a favorable wind. The end.